Rise and shine, and how amazing it is to be alive again today. Welcome to a new episode of the ASOM experience, and I'm extremely grateful for each and everyone who is connecting, whether you're watching or you're listening. Thank you for taking the time. Whatever you're doing right now, whether you're walking your dog, whether you're cooking, whether you're at the gym, anything you're doing, thank you, because you're doing it for you. And whatever I am, or we are actually contributing here, the purpose is to bring more light and awareness and motivation and stories that might inspire you in a way or another, on a small or in a big scale. So once again, thank you for being here. Wherever you're connecting from, actually, I'm so grateful to see also the countries of, the audience connecting from all over the world. I see countries like Israel, I see countries like Colombia, I see Europe, I see, all over, and it brings me so much gratitude. So I'm gonna jump in, and I'm gonna start off by welcoming another very exciting guest, full of energy. So she is a virtual assistant or a midwife for True Service to Come to Life. She implements and guides people into creation. And she's definitely been sharing this online with many people. She's someone who is absolutely a big heart, full of energy. She's been through many personal development events through which we have met, and I will talk more about. And if you have not met her yet, I am so happy to welcome Laura. Hi, Laura, how are you?
Hello, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, everyone. It is so amazing to be here because I am a listener of this podcast. So I guess that someday I'm going to be walking out, at 5 a.m. listening to myself and thinking life is so great.
Amazing, Laura. Wow, I love your energy. I love your smile. I just love how you show up. And, I've been following you since we connected, actually. So to just give a little bit of context, this is what I do when I welcome, guests on the ASOM experience, just to tell them how we've met, because there are always unexpected, stories of how people connect. So basically, Laura and I, we've met online, and it wasn't through a dating app. No, it was through a friend. It was through a friend, and basically we've shared, we've shared a personal development event that was that's carried by and hosted by Tony Robbins. And so basically, thanks to a friend of mine, we were connected. And I'm really glad to welcome her today because she's definitely one of the people who has so many insights and nuggets to share with us. So, Laura, wow, so good. And you're connecting from Colombia, actually. So yeah.
I am.
So Laura's
Yes,
based in Colombia. Tell us a little bit about your background. So have you lived have you grown up in Colombia? What's the story?
What's the story? Yes, so I was born in Bogota, 3,600 meters above the level of the sea. So my name is Laura of the Sea in English. So I am a mermaid that lives in the mountain Andes. And yeah, I've been living here since I'm in the womb, and I have been having this beautiful experience of traveling around the globe when it was easier. And I'm just here talking to you.
Fantastic, Laura. Thank you so much. Actually, it's really interesting to listen more to your story. What is your story? Why are you here now? Tell us more. What are you doing? Because you surely have so many surprises as well to to share with us.
What is my story? That is a very broad question because I can, interpret it as whatever I really want. What do I want to share with the listeners that would be helpful for them? What I enjoy more of being Laura del Mar, because I get to be this Colombian woman 32 years old. I'm an only child. My heritage is Cuban. My great grandfather wrote a Cuban anthem. So I'm very proud of that
Wow.
heritage. Yes.
Who would know that?
and then, well, revolution came and my family lost everything, and it got spread all around the Americas, and my family, my lineage just came here and started to build the country. They were engineers and worked in several things that are helpful up to the day of today. So I'm very proud of where I come from, and by being here, I feel honored because I'm honoring my heritage, and I'm honoring all of you that are there listening to us or looking to our pretty faces, because you do have a story as well. And your story is one that touches my heart. Yes, I love being a human being, yet I think that is very complicated, not as simple. And my story is the story of a person really trying to figure out how to make the most out of life. Life has felt very intense for me because I feel intensely. And I think sometimes, wow, if this is my experience, then many hearts need love and compassion and intimacy, like somebody that care for what's really going on inside. And that is my hobby. My hobby is learning about the secret pains of people. There is a lot that is left secret on the intimate life of a woman as a biological being. Womanhood is hard, and motherhood is hard. Being a man is also hard. Having a gender is hard. And there's things that I love taboo. For the ones that like the language of astrology, I am very Scorpion person.
Okay.
It's not my rising. I mean, it's not my solar, it's my rising, but I am very Scorpio person. So I enjoy a lot the taboo things, the things that are left unspoken, because I feel that there's a lot of light there. There's a lot of richness and juice and jewels that are just hidden in the subdomains of the unconscious. So that is my language, the subconscious. And I love all things that have to do with sex, but not, as a perversion of sex, but as the richness of it. Exactly. We get to know another layer of us as human beings when we get in touch with our sexuality. Oh my God, this got really intimate really fast.
Please, yes, absolutely. I'm so happy that you share that. I mean, I've seen you on your page share and talk and express, and I truly love how open and how authentic you are. And it's those are topics that are truly important. When you said that you'd find light in these areas, it's true. The moment we actually go there, with the moment we actually choose to go into the darkness, which is the unconscious, and this is where we actually find the light, because it becomes known to us. We do the work, we go through it. So please, just wanted to remind you and everyone who's out there who's listening and watching, this is a safe space for people to come and share and to be authentic, and there's no shame at all, no judgment at all. And by the way, for those who are listening and watching, in case you're judging, I'm sure you're not, but in case you do, I'm sorry to say you are judging yourselves. And that's and I'm sure no one is doing that, but it's just that's something I've learned also by practice. So please, Laura, back to you.
Well, if you're judging, I celebrate that you're judging, because I wouldn't by any means would like to go beyond your safety. I think that because I like these topics, I honor safety. and safety comes first. I think that as human beings, we need to become safety for ourselves. Not to believe that someone's going to save us and look for that savior everywhere, but to know that we're the ones that provide safety for ourselves. And in that safety lies a lot of self-empowerment and love and compassion and really like spiritual principles made practical. That's my way of seeing it. So if you're there judging me or judging myself or judging, yourself, judging me, double judging me.
Exactly.
I'm there with you. I judge all the time, and when I judge, it's like it's a key to myself. What am I really feeling? Why do I feel like judging? And I guess that what I really like is making friends with the uncomfortable, because judgment is uncomfortable and shame is uncomfortable, and everything that has to do with trauma is uncomfortable. But if we don't bring that love, because we do have a big capacity to love in this life, if we don't bring that also to those parts of us that are ugly, then our love is not complete. And that's what I say, is like, we can love even more. We can love even deeply. We can love in ways that we are not anticipating. And that's what I have fun with.
Amazing. I love that. I'm so happy that you went deeper, and I'm sure that you have so much more to share on that. And thank you for your story, and thank you for sharing, why you're here. Tell us more, what motivates you to get up in the morning? What pulls you out of bed? What turns you on when you get up?
I want to just tell everyone I'm so
Yes.
excited to be here. My histamine levels are so high. That means that I'm so alive.
That's so nice.
I'm just transparent. So
That's
you're
so
seeing
nice.
my heart here.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. For the ones that are listening, you have to watch this to make sense of what I'm saying.
Yes. I'm sure they were on Spotify now. Now they're like, where's my YouTube?
Yes. So, what does motivate me? I feel that satisfaction. I like the feeling of being satisfied, and sometimes I feel very unsatisfied. So there is a life force within me that is natural and pushes me to try again. I'm hopeful, and I feel that as a Scorpio child, I am driven by challenge. So I challenge myself every day. Okay, this is the day that we're going to grow a little bit more. This is the day that I'm going to make the breakthrough. This is the day that I'm going to feel more of what I want to feel, or what kind of day is it going to be. So yes, I wake up every day, and the first thing I think is like, what's going to happen today? And I find that thing that I really want to do, and it's like, yes, that's the reason why I'm waking up at 5 a.m. Yes.
Wow. Yes, I have to say this out. So Laura is in the 5 a.m. club. She gets up at 5 in the morning, and she spends the first hours with herself and, centered on herself. And I believe this is by far one of the best gifts you can give to yourself, is really to use your morning hours just purely for you. And I've done that actually for some time, when I needed it the most. And I saw the transformation, and I saw the how you level up, internally and externally. So it's great. Maybe would you want to tell us more about that, for those who are curious more? How is it for you to get up at 5? And is it so right now? You probably do it like with no alarm anymore?
No. Imagine. Okay, first of all, I'm going to say that I am not in the 5 a.m. club. I am in the Laura del Mar club. I have my own club. So yes, I just think that I have to do things my way. If not, they're not going to be authentic, and I'm just going to make someone richer, and I'm just going to be poorer of myself. And I want to, like, experience the richness of me, even if I am human and I can be mistaken. I want to be myself. I mean, I just have to. I just have the opportunity to be Laura del Mar one time ever, and so yeah, that is the thing. So, what is the 5 a.m. thing? I really wake up at 5 a.m. because I enjoy the sunrise. That is the real reason why. Like, every day after okay, I just like wake up and I open the window. Yes. And the first thing is like, what kind of sunrise is today? What kind of colors I'm gonna witness? And I think it's kind of corny and romantic, but that's the kind of person that I really am. I live for that. I like to see the colors and think, wow, this is the beauty that exists, whether I am in this world or not. Like, maybe everything's going to just disappear, like human beings can disappear, but beauty is going to be there still. So I want to cherish that because it is present, it is vital, it won't ever repeat the same again. And so sometimes it's just like gray. It's like, okay, nothing new today. Sometimes it's raining and I feel like, okay, whatever. But anyways, like I'm just gonna create my day and I'm gonna have some satisfaction and pleasure today. Nevertheless, I'm my own sunshine, I'm my own sun rays.
Absolutely.
So that's who I am at heart. And then I honor the people that like to follow somebody else's method. I am very methodic myself, but it doesn't work forever. And that is what we need to remember, that methods are there and they can work for some time, and then they're going to test us to be present with what is, with the reality of our life, because we not necessarily have to walk the same path that somebody else did before and have the same results. That doesn't really, like, I don't know, it can happen, but it cannot happen for the people that doesn't have the best experience. I'm going to tell you, you're right. I mean, you're right, because you're meant to have your own experience, okay? So please just not feel frustrated because if you implemented someone's method and you didn't break through, don't worry. You're here on this earth probably to find your own way and make your own method, and then adjust your own method, and then challenge your own method, and then lose sight of your method and get lost and find it again. That is more human than thinking that you're a machine, and that if you get one key, it's going to open all of the doors forever and ever.
Amazing, Laura. Wow, thank you for that. That was such an insightful way of sharing your daily. Let's go a little bit further and tell us what was one of your major turning points. What was something where you went like, aha, you probably had several, but like give us a good one.
Yes, this was the one that I thought I'm not sure how I'm going to answer this. Right now, what would feel real to me is tell you how like fanatic of following someone's step I was in the past.
Okay.
And how that affected me in ways that were less than healthy, and why now I'm so cautious about what I embrace as part of my habits or my beliefs or anything. Like I appreciate a lot suggestions and methods and books and how-to tutorials. I mean, YouTube and Instagram and the industry of the how-to. Yet, because I'm very particular, at some point when I implemented some of the how-tos, I felt that I was less of myself and more of something that that was not making me happy. And you know, like, because I'm very perseverant, is that the word?
Yes.
I like perseverance. I would commit to the practice even if it was making me feel wrong, thinking, oh, if I just do these a little bit longer, or if I just commit a little bit more, it's going to work. And then realizing, oh my God, like I need to be more true to myself before I engaged in this practice, you know, because I engaged in practices that promised me to get me somewhere, but I really didn't understood why I wanted to get there in the first place. I was looking for saving all the time.
Yes.
And that was huge for me. Like, you are your own savior. I would say that I was listening to one of your episodes with Joseph, yeah.
Yes.
And he was talking about these micro breakthroughs, you know, this, and I feel that my life has been like that. And I haven't had yet the life of the testimonial, you know, like the before and after. That's not me. I'm just like more into, okay, every day something unfolds. And sometimes I get more confused and sometimes I get more clear. And I cannot anticipate it. I can just only be present, witness it, and hold it and accept it for what it is. And because I haven't had that, because at some point I hadn't had yet the breakthrough that was spectacular and like that made me feel super proud of myself. I felt like I don't know.
It was a process. It was a continuous process. And if I would like resume again, for you, the major turning point was when you realized that you know, instead of following certain methods and tools and techniques, all you had to do is just be more of yourself, be more authentic and true to yourself. And this is where you start feeling more connected and more, let us say, mature and on, you know, on a new level. So, but when, maybe around when did this happen? Just to give us a little bit of insights.
Well, I was working with A Course in Miracles. I'm a Course in Miracles student.
You're a Course in Miracles student. I didn't know that. That's such a, wow. That's a humongous. I didn't.
Yes.
How many? What? Tell us more. I mean, yeah. Tell us more about it. Like.
Yeah, I'm not here selling anyone anything, but
no, but for those who don't know, because I've stumbled upon, you know, the book, and I have to say it's one of the biggest, heaviest, longest books I've seen. But I love the message behind. I love you know, there are so many, but you know, the one.
I think this is a metaphysical book. It is a whole metaphor on love, and it gives you 365-day practices, you know, practices for a whole year that will help you uncover the practice of love, of realizing that love is a perception, that love is a way that you see things. It's like a filter. It's like a filter, but it's kind of the filter that puts away all of the other filters. And it was deep. It was very deep. I loved it. Like, it is a very dense text, and it is not easy to read for it's not an Instagram account, you know. It is really a text that speaks in many layers. So when I got it, it was like I felt like I was home. It hit home because it was speaking right to me. And what I enjoyed the most about it was that it goes to the confrontation of, what are you really doing with your life? You know, like, you could be loving. Why aren't you loving?
Exactly.
Why? What's your
That's
story?
such a, yeah, such a, I believe it's such a powerful message, you know, the way, you know, it sheds light on love and on forgiveness and on purity, like how to find the purity in every single human being. And that's
The
insane.
innocence.
The innocence, yes. And
Yes.
and well, purity, yeah, it's in a way or
Yeah.
another, but that's true. Like, I do feel that as well, also, you know, in so many different situations. And I'm just gonna share this because I've never talked about it, I've never shared it, but, you know, meeting people for the first time, you know, instead of, you know, at times, you know, immediately creating a certain idea of that person, no matter what they're doing or their background or their look or their class or anything, you know, it's like, when I'm able to connect with the simplest, purest form of that person, there's this, you know, this feeling, this rush of love, that, and of joy that flows in me by meeting someone in the street. You know, this happens so much when I see homeless people. Like, it happens so much with me, because I do that. I feel this connection also with them on such a deep level, and I connect also, and I feel them, and I talk with them, and, you know, and it happens constantly. And such pure beings, you know, and like everyone, you know, everyone, but those who are I think those who are really the most, I would say, vulnerable, tend to be also the purest at many times. So I say this with emotions, but I'm glad that you brought all these up, so that, you know, I'm able to also share that. So thank you.
So beautiful, because it is when we're most vulnerable that we're most beautiful, that we're most tender, that we're most innocent. And I think that is love, when love can break through the barriers and ignite the innocence. I am innocent, you are innocent. When you're judging me or judging anyone else, you're innocent anyways, and I am innocent. And this is all like a cosmic play, and we're all divine children of existence. And that's the truth, you know, like at the core of sexuality, for instance, there is innocence. There is innocence, and that innocence needs to be protected. And that's the beauty I see in sex, you know, that maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I think it's also beautiful, that kind of perception, sensitivity that love or the course brings out in you, that you find the beauty in other people, or that you find the beauty in vulnerable situations. You just reminded me of a time that I was at an airport in Russia, and my knee was hurt, and I missed the flight back, and I was in the nursery in the airport. Like, okay, I don't speak Russian, and I couldn't move. And there was this beautiful family, Russian people, and I'm gonna try not to cry because it touched me so much. They were traveling to take their children to the doctor because their children was very sick. And I was there all alone, and they came in, and the woman came to me, and in simple English, we just like said, "Hi, how are you?" And she gave me some food, and yeah, she was very humble, and yeah, I'm really trying real hard not to cry. And that opened my heart, that no matter if I was in that circumstance, and she was in a very hard circumstance, and her heart was so open and so wide that she would share from her food to me. And I don't know, that experience changed me. And I think that was a very spiritual thing. You know, I didn't pay for it. I didn't went to a guru for it. It just happened to me.
Yes, it's beautiful. I mean, it's definitely emotional as well. It is an emotional moment, and you know, I can relate. Like, you just reminded me also of a story that, if I may, I'll share as well. It's a little bit similar. So I was driving back with someone I met in the mountains in California, in the Yosemite, and we had a small accident. The tire blew off, and we were at the station, and so he had to go and try to get the to get a spare wheel. And then one of the guys from the mountains who work as a, you know, like a wood logger, you know, the guys who go and cut the trees, he was there, and he was asking me what was I doing, like just all alone on the station. And I tell him this is the story, and then he comes and he opens a box, you know, a lunch box. And he says, "Hey, this is the lunch my wife made me this morning. Here you go. You need it more than I do." I was like, wow, you know, and I got like the goosebumps right now. I remember this guy very well. And, you know, just wanted to say that people like those, you know, whether it's a family or it's a man who's traveling alone, or, you know, anyone who comes and, you know, without anything in return, they give you without anything in return, without asking for anything in return. It's definitely something, you know, that's touching. And I'm grateful that you shared this. And it's definitely part of also the turning points that, you know, we mentioned earlier. So
yes, exactly. I feel the course helped me to bring that innocence in some relationships that were very intense for me. That I thought that it couldn't be, like, we couldn't have any kind of closeness. And then through the practices, it was magic. It was really magic. That is the true magic that I know in this world, the magic of love. Not in a corny way, but in a very real, raw, vulnerable, like willing to be open way, you know. And I think that I am in that path of opening my heart, because of course I'm a human being and I have my shadows, and I feel inadequate, and I'm ashamed of myself, and oh my God. And it's like the practice of looking at me like a child, and in some way reparenting myself and mothering myself, and yes, allow myself to nurture myself as my own child, but also opening up to being the child of existence. That yes, we live in a human world with a lot of rules, but at the end of the day, sometimes love comes through, and there is a miracle moment, and everyone is transformed and changed. What the Course says is that a miracle is a shift in perspective. And in those moments that we were like living some kind of intensity, there was someone that showed us that we were not alone, that we were not separate, that we were just children living a circumstance and experience. So for all the children that are listening to us, you are loved, really. When I feel my pain, I also feel your pain. And I pray that my pain would be blessed by anything I need, the way I need it, when I need it. And yeah, and you are in my heart, really. Like I've been thinking, what am I going to say to all these people? I'm going to say, okay, I love you in all the ways possible, because I do want for you to have just what you need, the way you need it, when you need it. That is my message, that no matter what you're going through, your time of light will come just as you are, if you're open, as in innocence, if you're open to have your breakthrough the way that you're meant to. That's it.
Beautiful. Wow, that's a very powerful message, and especially that you refer to the children of the world, or the youth who are basically the ones who are going to change the world, the upcoming generations. So I'm also curious if we have young listeners here, if you're listening or watching, and if you're, I would say, in your teens or under 20. I don't know if we have some listeners who are under 20, but if you are, thank you for being here also, and please feel free to share in the comments, what do you like most about this conversation, or what touches you the most about this conversation. And we're more than happy, if you have also questions for Laura, make sure to just ask them in the comments, or go ahead and check her Instagram out. And I'll tell you exactly, it is Laura Del Mara, 1R, and you will find her on Instagram. So
amazing. I know it's the other way around, but don't worry, like
now
your
it's
brain
working.
can make it up.
Now it's working. Amazing. So we're gonna move on with the questions. I feel like time is flying, but I still wanna, I've got this amazing piece of your message. And tell us a little bit, what would you advise your younger self, say Laura when she was 20 or 19? Yeah.
That was the second one that I was like, oh my God, what I'm going to say.
You sound so prepared, actually, with the...
Yeah, this is very spontaneous, very spontaneous.
Very.
Well, what I would say to myself, I really like to, what am I going to say that is real to this moment? I'm 32. When I look back at my 20s, I was terrified about thinking what was going to happen to me in the next 5 years. Whenever anybody asked me, how do you see yourself in 5 years? It was like the worst thing that anybody could ask me, because I feel that I adapt a lot, like I adjust a lot. I create a lot of experiences. I don't know, like I don't think that I'm the same person every day. Not only because I'm a woman in that biological context of hormones and things, but because honestly, the energy every day is different. Sometimes I can feel consistent for some days, and then I have like a spark of life, and I create different things in my life. And what can I do? That is how I am. So right now, to that Laura that felt so creative and that didn't knew that this creativity was allowed in the world, that my kind of authority, my kind of voice, my kind of quirkiness was not the pattern or the popular opinion or the trend, I would still tell her, you're amazing. You are a child, yes, you're a girl, and you can get to live whatever you really want to. You don't have to wait until you're 30, because I always believed that I had to be 30 to be taken seriously.
Wow.
And yes, and now that I'm 30, I'm like, well, I could have claimed this when I was on my 20s, when I was on my teens, but it required a level of power that I didn't allow myself to have, because back then power was very masculine and, you know, the old paradigm. And my version, my perspective of power is different. Like I want to be, I want to be like a child. You see, I want to be me. I want to be spontaneous. I want to be feminine. I want to I don't know. I would say to myself, keep being yourself and be innocent in a way that you're going to protect yourself. Like really ask yourself, what is protection? Ask yourself, what is safety? Ask yourself, what is control? And ask yourself, what is power? And from your own definitions, design your life. That is what I would tell myself. Because, and here is another big one. This is the real thing that I would say to myself. Okay, so Laura del Mar, please, I lost it. No, it's here.
I'm listening. I'm listening, and I'm scotched here. So please go ahead.
Do things your way, but it was not like that. It was more. No, I really lost it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. You were amazing. You know, you said all the things that are so good to hear. You know, for someone who's younger or someone who's now listening. You know, whatever your age is. I'm going to ask this question to the listeners or the people watching. What is something that you would tell yourself, or what is something that Laura said that you would also tell yourself? That would be good to like resonate more on. And if I may, we are going to move on with our questions because we're halfway through actually, and I still feel like we've got some big questions there, which is good. So tell us one of the most vulnerable experiences that you've had, something around failure or shame or depression, or anything that that also contributed for you through your path to be here.
For as long as I can remember, I have been different in many ways. I have been labeled as too sensitive, as too special needs, I don't know, too much somehow. And that opens up to like having a lot of experiences that are less than ideal. I think that because I'm honoring safety, my body doesn't feel very safe to speak about that.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Because I can get very vulnerable very quick, because I do believe in vulnerability. Like I believe in intimacy more than vulnerability. I think that vulnerability is when you lose control and you are present in a situation without really knowing what to do. and you're just there experiencing it, and you're open, and everyone's there like witnessing you, and you are prone to judgment or shame or guilt, and you're just there learning how to face such a circumstance. So right now, I wouldn't like to be vulnerable, but I would like to be intimate. I think that in my intimacy, I have made a lot of choices that are not logic, and sometimes people are like, why do you do the things you do? Why don't you do what is logic or expected? Why do you go in another way? And I get to love myself a lot because I understand that some of the choices that I've made are not very easy to understand. For instance, I was a belly dancer, and I was a very good belly dancer. And I had a traumatic event that made me stop belly dancing. But because I didn't know what trauma was, I couldn't help myself. And I just moved on thinking that, like, it's going to be fine one day. It's going to be fine. And it was never fine because I never understood that I had a trauma, that I had to work through that trauma. And that is relevant to this conversation because I believe that feeling is a very deep power, a power that we have as human beings, but nobody really teaches us how to feel. Yes, they teach us values and morals and ethics, but somehow we're not taught about how to deal with our nervous system. And that is huge because our mental health and the health of our nervous system is crucial for our development. So that event made me vulnerable just because I couldn't access to my brain and my mind and my vocabulary to work through the pain that I was going through. Now that I can have all those resources, then it is easier to work through. I still haven't mastered that. I'm still not dancing, but I can accept myself a little bit more. And why is that? Like when you ask me why is that coming, because everybody knows me as a dancer in Colombia, and up to this day they still ask me, and are you dancing? Are you going to dance again? And it is very painful because it's so confusing inside, or was so confusing inside, that I didn't know how to react to that. And I think that many of us have experiences like that we're asked questions that have no logic answer, and we cannot explain why, and it keeps us like hostage of something that we can't put a name to, something that we exiled, something that we want to fix but not face, something we want to hide. So that is the part of me that is vulnerable, and that I wish someday I can break through and dance as a belly dancer again.
Wow, Laura, I was sitting here and I'm like, wow, first of all, that takes so much courage, and you're so brave to share your story, first of all. Second of all, beautiful, beautiful that you have reached that level of awareness to what has happened, the experience itself. And right now, probably you feel much more free from this holding on to the old Laura, the old Laura who everyone knows, but
yes,
but they don't know what's even underneath. And this is more important, this is why we do this. This is why we do the work. We do the work not just to keep on having that layer where everyone knows us by, that label, or that you've used the word label, you know. And no, it's beyond that. It's beyond that, and underneath that, way underneath that. So amazing. You know what? Nothing has changed. I will tell you that nothing has changed. It's just that you've been removing layers, and you've been really, you know, peeling and seeing what's really the core there. And you have
Yes.
a beautiful journey. So, you know, keep going there. And it's great to have certain signals or reminders from time to time, whether they're external or internal. And it's about how you channel them and what you do with them. So, you know what? No pressure. Just keep doing what you do. And
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
I like
amazing.
what you say, no pressure.
No
Because
pressure. No.
for instance, in all of the self-development world, there is a pressure that is like an unspoken, hidden pressure that we have to heal, and we have to do all the process, and we have to go to the other side, right?
Expectation, the
Yeah,
expectation of, you know, yes, I am investing time in reading books or in doing self-development and this and that. So I expect myself to become this or that. There's no becoming, there is just being, you know, there's being.
yeah,
And this is what,
yes,
you know, we're always confused. We're always like in that projection of, you know, what I want to become. Hey, you know, you are full, you are enough. And I say it to you, Laura, and I say it to everyone who's listening and watching, thank you again for being here. Actually, it's amazing. It's, what time is it? It's
I don't know.
it's 7:30 p.m. in Nice. I'm in the south of France. What time is it in Colombia?
It's 12 and 32, 32 past 12
Wow. Okay.
midday. Yes,
Okay, amazing. So it's daylight. That's really cool. Laura,
yes.
beautiful. Do you still want to add on that last part, or shall I move to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I would like to add a little bit of reality to the self-development thing, that we're all processing. We're all in a process. Everyone. Like the guru that you see there speaking to you is in a process. Everyone is in their own paths. And there are things that are in the level of mastery, and there are others that are in the level of infancy, beginning, or just like. So I want to normalize that we're all in a path, and it's okay to be beginning, and it's okay to lose our way sometimes and go back to our way with more clarity or with another perspective. And it's awesome to arrive to mastery. It's very important not to obsess with it, but to be present with it, because you never know. You never know. You know, like when you ask me, what would you like to say to your 20-year-old? Is like, do not rush the process. Do not
Yes.
rush the process, because
Big
I was
time.
obsessed with it. Like I needed saving so much that it led me to frustration, and it led me to be who I was not. And that is painful. So by you being where you are is beautiful. Enjoy where you are. I say this oftentimes. It is so delicious to be a child. Like really, it's so delicious to be a little one. And what is the rush of growing up? What's the rush of becoming an adult? Like the growing up needs to be taken more in a compassionate way. You're here to live your own evolutionary rhythm, your own evolutionary rhythm. So when you compare your rhythm to others, you're like abandoning yourself. You're
Big time.
abandoning. And that is what I would really like pass on to my 20-year-old through time and space. Just be where you are, even if everyone's pressuring you to pick up your career or define yourself or be clear on what you want. Just explore yourself, because that's going to be your power.
Absolutely. Wow. That's such a powerful message there. You know, you've been sharing really very strong messages. I'm sure it's touching a lot of people who are listening and watching. I am, you know, I'm the first one who's being touched here, and thank you again, Laura. Thanks so much for all the work you're doing, and really, it's a beautiful process, I must say.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is your mission right now?
What is my mission right now? Oh my God.
Without pressure.
Yes. Well, I have several ideas of what my mission is. My first mission is enjoy myself, enjoy the self that I am, and train my nervous system to have better experiences. Build an identity, like live the identity that most fulfills me and that is most authentic to me. That is my mission with myself, like in the beginning, you know, because the mission is long. I've been 32 years in a mission with myself. And with other people, like, I don't know, sometimes I believe that my mission is establishing intimacy, like helping people to have a space to talk about things that they normally don't talk with other people that are there pressing and come from a very deep place and need healing or clarity or sharing, witnessing. I believe that that's powerful when you share your truth with someone else, and that someone else can hold that truth for you without wanting to do anything with it. Just I think that is part of my mission. Other part of my mission is learning to love through interdependence and healthy power. I've been having a lot of experiences of codependency in the self-development world. So sometimes I point out where the danger is in what is being sold, so that people can have maybe another perspective on things and consider new things and perspectives. That is my mission. And the other mission is by being virtual assistant, I want to help entrepreneurs to create strategies that will serve people truly, that would bring transformative experiences to clients by giving them, by selling people what they think they want and giving them what they truly need. Because nobody knows what they need until they know, right? You don't know what you don't know. So I would like to make a difference in this world by working with people that have something to say and they want to do their service in a different way than marketing has been telling us to do, or the algorithm is allowing us to do. I'm just working on that. That's going to be big in the years to come. Strategies to influence people into transformation.
Wow. Amazing, Laura. Amazing. Who are you impacting the most today?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Well, me first. And
thank you. Yes, I don't work with people anymore. I used to have a consultation practice, but I don't have that anymore. I'm transitioning to the digital world somehow. And I don't know. I think that it goes back to the story of Russia. You never know who you're going to touch for real. Like you can have the big presence in Instagram, but if you're not present to your everyday life, Like you may have missed your person.
Absolutely. You miss out so much if you're, yeah, yes, yes, yes. I second that. So, okay, okay. Well, you're definitely impacting many people out there, whether it's, you know, your close family or friends around you or neighbors, or, you know, it's absolutely clear. It's just that, you know, sometimes it's also a work in progress. It's also, you know, we do it in a way that we're not even thinking if we're impacting or not, because we know that it's happening. So, and I love again your story that happened in Russia. So, so good, Laura. That has been so exciting, and you know, yeah. I look at everything we've been sharing and talking about, and we have come to one of our last sections of the
Okay.
interview, and this is what I call the fast cues. Okay, so.
Oh no! Oh no! My real me is gonna break through. Okay. All
So
right.
in the fast cues, basically you've got one word or one phrase to answer a question. Okay? No cheating.
No cheating. Okay.
No cheating. One word or one sentence. Yeah, let's take a deep
All right.
breath. 5 in, 8 out.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. Number one, what is the meaning of life?
Love.
Love. Amazing. We are put on this earth for what reason?
Progress.
Progress. Very true. What is destiny?
An extension of pleasure.
An extension of pleasure. I love this. Yeah, love it. What is true happiness?
What is true happiness? Feeling good.
Feeling good. Yeah, as simple as that. Does reincarnation exist? Do you believe in a second afterlife?
I believe in reiteration. What is that? Reiteration.
Reincarnation.
Reiteration.
Oh, reiteration. Yes. Okay, tell us more.
Yes. Well, I think that reality is so delightful because it's so playful that anything can exist in a certain like in a circumstance of rules, but everything can exist. So yes, I believe in reincarnation, but I don't believe that it is a reincarnation that is convenient. It is real. Yeah, you know, like you cannot like manufacture your next life or your last life. I don't know. I think that in my experience, I have been everything. And that gives me a lot more compassion when I see other people's behavior. So if it is helpful, if it makes me feel good, if it allows me progress, I believe in that. If not, I don't believe in that. And I think that life is all the time creating itself. So I think that parts of me will be someday parts of something else, and that's going to be an extension of my life, but not as Laura. My identity is going to be transformed forever and ever. But the life that is me is going to be there for as long as we can comprehend.
Beautiful. Wow. There's so much wisdom in your answer. Thank you, Laura.
Oh, thank you. Very wise. Look at me.
Amazing. Next. So what is true mindfulness?
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Yes. Okay. What does it mean to be present?
Can you repeat that?
What does it mean to be present?
What does it mean to be present? Come on, shoot. Be whole.
Be whole. Oh, yeah. Be whole, be full, be complete. Nice. Okay. And last but not least, how would you describe God?
Oh, bliss,
Place?
bliss, bliss. It's like ecstasy.
Yeah. Oh, Belize.
Bliss, yes.
Bliss.
Bliss,
Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Bliss.
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's it's the first time we get bliss here. Uh, that's very true. I love it. So thank you. You did very well on the fast cues. So good job, Laura. Really
Well, I
good.
did took my time, but everything went. And I remember what I wanted to say.
Please.
I would like to say to my 20-year-old, procure your wholeness. You're already whole. You're already
Oh,
whole. You know, I
claim
always
it.
thought that.
Claim it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
claim it, own it. You
Own
are
it.
whole. Yes,
Amazing. She's listening to you right now.
yes,
She's
yes.
always listening to you. Always. Yeah. That's so beautiful. So one more last part and section of this amazing interview. And just before, so a quick reminder, if you have not followed Laura yet, go ahead and check her Instagram out, Laura Del Mara, and I will also tag you in Instagram and on the post on Spotify and on YouTube. So amazing. And guys, if you have not subscribed yet, this is the time so that you won't miss out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. And I'm so grateful. And just before we end this, one final bonus question.
Okay.
Laura, what question have I not asked you yet today?
Mm. Okay. Mm. I don't know. Like maybe what keeps you juicy?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I would love to have a whole episode on that, actually. It's just that, I was just trying to see what gets out of you. Like, and now we've got a good, tell us more. Yeah, what tell us more about you. You've said pleasure a few times, you've said satisfaction, sexuality and being connected with your sexual power and this and that. Um, Tell us more. Yeah, that I'm very
um,
curious.
I I feel that there is a very beautiful aspect to sexuality that connects with um, our origin, like to our raw being, to what is deep, deep, deep down. And I think that what keeps me juicy is that I explore who am I deep down, not only on that psychological level that I can dig in with my discernment and my questions, by reflection, or by exploring my aspirations. But there is a part of us as human beings that is fascinating and that I connect to when I dance and I surrender and I let movement be me, or I let me be the movement when the identity melts down and I suddenly can be whatever I need to be at a deep level, at a primal level. I believe that we forget to be primal.
Yes.
And there is where we get juicy. The primal brings you together, teaches you about wholeness, teaches you about mindfulness, and is real. Like you sit down and you have an experience, or you wake up and you're dancing and you're ecstatic and you let yourself be, and you witness all of the things that are going inside is just so trippy. Like I can have a lot of trips without taking any drugs because that is the
Yes.
way that I am. And I think that everybody can have an experience like that. And that is what orgasm is, for instance. Orgasm is so nurturing and satisfying, not because the pleasure in the body, but because it shifts your consciousness. Like
Yes.
there is a before and an after when you have an orgasm. And while you're having that orgasm, that person that you are, that being that you are, is revealing of many truths that lie underneath. And that level of connection, I think, is precious, is innocent, is healthy, is safe. It is free. It is free.
That's true. 100%.
And to the people that have any kind of sexual trauma, you don't have to meet the delight of pleasure only through, sexual experiences. That you can extend the experience of sensuality to everything you do. The thing is that sex starts in the brain. Like to enjoy sex, you need a brain. So it is a perspective thing, and you can do everything and anything for the sake of divine pleasure. And I'm preaching right now.
Beautiful. Wow. Amazing, Laura. Wow, you've been such an amazing guest, and thank you once again for sharing fully and openly. And once again, remember that this is a safe place for everyone to come and share and to open up. And it's 100% we're here to support each other and to actually support those who are listening and those who also are trying. And yes, thank you for being here. Those who are listening and watching, thank you for taking the time. Laura, I can't wait to meet you in person. I hope we get the chance, whether it's in France or in Colombia or anywhere all over the world. Just wish you an amazing day. And for those who are listening, whether it's day or night, have a good day or have a good night, and see you next week. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much. Everyone feel good the way that you only can make yourself feel good. I am extending my love, and I am very grateful to you for this wonderful experience. Thank you.